My process in sculpting begins with the selection of a piece of material, stone. And if I have a concept in mind, I will look for stone of certain proportions or some feature. Normally what I'll do is just see what's available, and of what's available, what appeals to me. In Italy, the little old guys who work in the marble quarries can tell you literally where it came from, what town, what quarry it came from, just by looking at it. I was working in Carrara, which is where Romans and Michelangelo and everyone else has worked for thousands of years, literally. And the white marbles of Carrara are internationally famous. There's also beautiful gray marbles called Bardilio, and the Bardilio varies from a monotonic gray to swirly, fantastic looking stuff that's just wonderful. I really enjoy working with the white marble with a little gray veining in it of a specific type. It's hard to describe. The nicest thing about the Carrara white marbles is very small white crystal size, very homogeneous. Work it thin, it's strong, it's translucent, it's beautiful. There's a limitation in front of me. This is my universe that I can work with. And from that, whatever will come, will come. When I start working on a piece, I use every tool that I have available. I use a diamond saw, which is a 9-inch dry diamond blade on a body grinder to cut a flat bottom for the piece. I use electric sanders and grinders to remove material. I use pneumatic chisels. I use air die grinders. I use hand chisels. I use chisel and mallet. It depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. This object that exists is a form, but it also has a personality like a person does. And when I see what people see, sometimes they see things I don't. I've had many art students come to ask me, how do you do it? Where do you get your materials? What's going on? Just to see what I do. I met one in Oakland when I was buying stone last year who had come to my studio years before and has now moved to Northern California and has taken a year off from his job to become a sculptor. When I first started sculpting, I started by taking a piece of soapstone home, buying 2 simple tools, making a piece of sculpture, and when I was finished, I knew it was right, it was appropriate. I didn't have to ask anyone else. That sense was a very natural sense to me. It's like looking at a bird. You don't ask if a bird belongs or not. Hopefully, when people look at my sculpture, they'll have an experience just like when they look at a bird flying or the reflection on a stream. I want people to look at them and recognize that that piece has an identity. And its identity may be something that a child can relate to and not an adult, or vice versa. It may not be anything normal or comprehensible, but that it makes sense on some level.